Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. So where does one go if you want to buy a truckload of parts? So on Sunday I caught up with a buddy of mine up at the Roscoe Diner, and he got me this load of all-terrain vehicle parts, actually vintage Honda stuff, and he's been saving it up for me, and he set me up well. So let's start at the beginning. He got me this set of Swamp Fox tires, already mounted on rims. They're brandy new, right? Nice matched pair. And the set, I got to put these on rims. Basically, these are for the TRX 250, the Mint machine. His thoughts were, if you're going to have a Mint machine, that you should put a set of new tires on it and do the machine right. That way when you walk out to ride it, you don't have a flat, right? You're able to just hop on and go. So he managed to get me a good deal on this stuff, and I really appreciate it. He pulled some of his connections and set me up. Next up, he went through his hoard of stuff that he's been saving for a while. And within that hoard, he found two complete Honda recoil starters. If anybody's had to come up with a recoil starter lately, you guys know that that's just gold, right? You can't minimize the value there. He's also gave me a rebuild kit and a spare spring. This is most of a recoil starter for an ATC 125. So really, once again, that stuff is really hard to put one's hands on. He also gave me a pile of electronics, you know, switches for like the 200S. There's a couple of pulse generators in here. This one happens to probably be for that 125 that I mentioned. But he set me up nice. This stuff is just gold. Very hard to come up with. We also found a couple of lift bars, seat lift bars. I don't believe this goes to the smaller stuff. I'm hoping that it goes on a 200S. This looks like it could be from a big red or something like that. Not difficult to make, right? A couple of straight pieces of metal, and you put a pipe across them. Not all that hard to make, or angle iron, right? You cut them down. But a lot of times, if you're trying to put together a decent bike, it's nice to have the right parts for it. He also searched about and picked me up a bunch of exhaust systems. I don't know if you guys recognize this piece there. That's a Cobra, and then some various pipes from Harley Davidson and other stuff. I love getting exhaust systems like this because a lot of times I can mix and match and borrow the pipes and cut them up and just build custom stuff. I got it tied down, and my buddy really doesn't care for my rope when I rope things down. He's afraid I'm gonna lose the load on the way home. So he got me a set of these Moose ratchet straps, right? I don't know. I'm a rope kind of guy. I like to tie things down. I always feel like the process of tying stuff down, you're kind of thinking about what could get loose, and you know where to put the crosses and what to put the rope through. So that's me. He really loves ratchet straps, so I don't know. Probably I should use both. He also set me up with this rear end. To me, it looks like, you know, the ATC 110, 125. It's not all that wide. Sometimes these gears right? The sprockets really are nice to get, because the spacing doesn't always work out. So if you got one, you could kind of, oh, I can order that sprocket with X amount of teeth on it to do what I want to do, because the flange mounting works just right for me. So these kind of things just create possibilities. He also set me up with seats. This is a 200S seat. I mean, you guys know seats always get trashed. I believe, I'm trying to recall, I believe this is a TRX 200SX seat. That's what it looks like. And I brought him that, and he reupholstered it for me. He got it ready to go. My buddy owns that 200ES, that ATC 200ES, and the gas tank for that is truly Krispy Kreme. I mean, it's a little stale. So he sent these two tanks home with me. They've both been sealed inside, right, and have been drying forever. I don't think they've been used since they've been sealed. So he told me to pick the best one and put it on his bike. This one that I think might be a little better, but it's more dented up. So they're both sealed inside. You can kind of see that one's patched there. As time passes, it gets the things that you run into a lot of trouble with these all-terrain vehicles, all the vintage stuff. Recoil starters, really big thing. I figured out how to hack the wiring, how to hack the carburation, exhaust systems you could build. But over the years, a lot of the lift bars just get destroyed from the generation after generation that tows things and hooks all-terrain vehicles up to trees and just, pulls on them just to be what kids do. Stuff like that ruins these things. So whenever you could get them, it's nice. Seats could be reupholstered, but depending on what the base is made out of, sometimes the plastic bases get crispy and you can't get staples into them any longer, or the metal bases, quite honestly, just disappear from underneath the seat. You still have some foam, or still have vinyl, you still have foam, but underneath the metal is just gone. So those are the ones that typically blow away on my way home. I'd look and I'm like, where'd the seat go? And I see a rust stain on the all-terrain vehicle. The foam and the cover blew away because there's nothing holding them. There's nothing to hold them to. The seat pan is just literally gone. Last but not least, he got me a bunch of these covers. The version of all-terrain vehicle he sells ships them with these covers on. He got me 3 of them. Really just handy. They're pretty well made. I mean, they'll last a few years with an all-terrain vehicle underneath them, at least a couple. So just handy to have. When you're working on a project and suddenly, like today, we're supposed to get showers on and off, kind of annoying. It's handy to have this, and you could just throw it on top of whatever you're doing to stay clean and dry, and particularly dry. There's nothing worse than having some kind of a box or a plastic bin or metal bin that's watertight that now fills up with water with your tools in them. And in my case, it'll always happen that, I have some electronics in that box, and drowning electronics, never good. Recoil starters, even mufflers, right? Who wants to fill them up with water? It doesn't help them live longer. Well, I just want to finish this video. You know, guys, every once in a while, you'll discover a hoard of all-terrain vehicle parts, or maybe it'll be motorcycle parts or something else. You know, a lot of this stuff, they just don't make anymore, right? They don't make these. So if you're somebody who has an all-terrain vehicle like I have with that LT 125, and you need a recoil, you're kind of at the whim of eBay. Are you going to be able to find one there or not? And without a recoil, and let me get back to the LT 125, right? You might be able to fudge around with the seat a little bit, kind of cob something on there, or kind of make something, right? But no recoil, and that one does not come equipped with an electric starter. The all-terrain vehicle not only has virtually no value, right? You can't even pull the engine and put it on something else. No recoil on something else, or no recoil on the LT 125. It's just dangerous, right? You could put your ankle out and hammer it. And if you have something where the engine's theoretically enclosed, now try to wrap the string around it to get it started. So even running, even as a runner, it's just who wants something? Who's going to give a 125 to the young person they know and say, "Oh yeah, try not to tear your ankle off," right? It just isn't going to happen. It just literally has no value. So obviously, I'm looking for an LT 125 recoil. I might also check to see if I can use that recoil cover and maybe the basket and the guts out of one of these 200S's to kind of bring it back to life. I don't know. I'm hoping. If not, whatever. Anyway, so guys, don't let these parts get away. Save them wherever you can. And in the meantime, please remember, feet down, heads up. This Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's the Rhinebeck Car Show. I guess I'll see E-Man Deluxe up there. I'll be hanging out with Charlie. Charlie's always a lot of fun. So anyway, I'll be hanging with him. So if you see me behind a booth somewhere, the tall, skinny guy with me is Charlie. And in the meantime, car show then, Hudson auction the week after that. I mean, tis the season. June for the garage sale at Stormville. This is my season. I know I don't need a bunch of junk, but if I don't buy it now, I wait until next year. And you know, sometimes things change in the world and they cancel the show for a couple of years. So make sure you enjoy all this stuff while you can. And in the meantime, please remember, feet down, heads up, and get out and enjoy each and every day. Take care and have fun.